What's up, my Housewives relatable listeners? It's your girl Stella coming to you once again to talk about it all. Hi, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Well, we have a few Housewives keeping items, but I have to admit the drama has been a little slow. So that's why. I didn't drop the episode on Thursday or Friday like I usually do. I just wanted to wait for a little bit more gossip so I can comment on it all and just, keep it interesting because I knew that a certain person was going to have a guest, like a special guest on her podcast today. And rather than talking about it next week, I just thought that it would be more fun to talk about it today, right? So let's jump right into it. Okay, so before I do that, I have to talk about the whole Shannon Beador situation. Shannon, who I happen to like actually, but we know that there has been some issues with Shannon over the years when it comes to, I don't like to diagnose people. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to call her, I'm not going to label her, but I'm definitely going to say that she has a problem drinking. She has a problem with drinking. So I'm going to say that. And at the end of the day, not her proudest moment. And a lot of people have come out to say, not necessarily in favor of Shannon, but a lot of people are saying, we feel bad for her, we feel bad for her. And she's a friend. And I understand all of that, right? And at the end of the day, I don't want people to cancel her or to crucify her. I'm sure she's embarrassed enough for what she did. And, she probably wants to crawl and just stay in her home for a few days and not talk to anybody because this is pretty embarrassing. But at the end of the day, Shannon is like a 50-year-old plus woman, right? And she knows better. She knows better. We're not at the beginning of this whole, is drinking and driving good or bad? We know by now in 2023 that it's bad, right? Shannon has the means. She was married to a very wealthy man. They made their fortune together. She's been on a reality TV show for quite some time now. So there's really no excuse for Shannon when it comes to hiring an Uber driver or even a personal driver to drive her around. Then, just get completely smashed and then, you just have somebody driving you home. But there's really no reason, especially when you see the video, the footage, her hitting that post and then hitting that door. And what I'm saying is, God was looking out for everybody that day because nobody got hurt, including Shannon. But it could have been a completely different outcome. That's why it's serious, right? People at this point, they should really think before they step behind the wheel and drive while they are under the influence, while they're drunk. And not just drunk, right? We're talking about everything, right? Even pot, in certain places, it's legal. So you see people vaping everywhere, right? Sometimes you don't know if it's a nicotine vape or if it's a weed vape, but people are vaping and they're also driving, right? That too, right? That's also driving under the influence. You have people that are on very strong meds. I'm sorry. If you're on very, very strong meds, like the pharmaceutical type, you shouldn't be driving either, right? So I'm just saying. And at the end of the day, just to kind of close on that when it comes to the whole Shannon Beador thing. UFC or certain sports, they have a code of conduct for their athletes. I feel like Bravo should have something similar. I don't know if they have that or not, but I feel like they should have something similar to what UFC is doing. So they should hold their housewives to a higher standard because at the end of the day, they do a fair amount of drinking while they are filming the show, right? And while they film the show, usually they have a driver. You see, Bravo makes a point of showing us that they will get, picked up or dropped off by a driver, right? Most of the time. Although I've seen sometimes, they have pretty boozy parties and some of them seem like they're driving. But anyways, for the most part, it seems like they have a driver, right? So At the end of the day, I think that Bravo should really send a strong message and start fining, giving fines to drunk housewives that are getting like DUIs, because this has no place anymore. Shannon was lucky. I'm saying don't cancel Shannon. I'm not saying that she should be off the show and then for people to be mean to her on social media. That is not necessary, guys. I'm sure she feels bad enough, right? As she should, because she did something wrong, right? But at the end of the day, she was lucky enough not to hurt herself and not to hurt anyone. She could probably pay for the damages that she caused, right? She could maybe volunteer somewhere. She could become a spokesperson after some point in time. Like, I don't know, right? But what I'm saying is Bravo needs to start finding those housewives or their talent when they're acting like this in public, and just hold them accountable for, like, we just want them to have a little bit of a better behavior, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because we've been seeing too much of this, right? And it's getting old. I don't know if you guys remember this, actually, but some people might not agree with me because of who it is. But anyways, I'm not going to say his name because you can't have his name on social media or on YouTube, or I don't know, like it could get picked up and then flagged and all of that. But there was a certain former president that used to have a very popular reality TV show called Celebrity Apprentice, right? So you guys know who I'm talking about, right? That was many moons ago, before he was even the president of the United States, but I digress. There was one episode, I don't know if you guys recall that. Khloe Kardashian was there. And she was, like a participant on the show and all of that. And I guess she was supposed to attend some sort of like community service thing that she had to do because at some point in time, Khloe had a DUI, right? And I guess the former, host of that show didn't know that Khloe had a DUI before he accepted for her to kind of just like run as a celebrity apprentice, right? So he was not aware of that, but he was made aware of that while filming, right? And I guess he got really irritated with her, like in the boardroom. Her team actually won. If I recall correctly, I think her team actually won, right? She was not even supposed to be in the boardroom, right? Because she was part of the winning team or something like that. And then I guess he got so annoyed because she did not attend her community service for her DUI, and he brought it up and said, I despise people that drink and drive, because I guess his brother used to be a person that had problems with alcohol as well. And he said, you're fired. He fired Khloe Kardashian just because of that on the show. It was completely unexpected. I don't know if you guys recall that. That was like a great TV moment, like years and years and years ago, right? But he fired her. He said, you're fired. I don't like that. Go work on yourself. Go do the community service. He's not saying like, she doesn't deserve a second chance, but he's like, you did something really bad, right? And I don't like little entitled people. Go do the community work that you need to do, and then you can do the show. But don't miss the community work to do the show, right? So he fired her. And Khloe thought that was harsh. And I remember I was just like, oh my gosh, wow, that was like rough. But you know what? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? So not saying that to be harsh. And again, I don't want Shannon to be